Hi, I'm Scott,
And I'm Andrew, and thank you for joining us for Hebrews Podcast
where we talk about our personal experiences being dads and the day-to-day life of raising kids.
and coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good evening, whenever you're checking this out.
It's evening. It's
It's evening for
like
us.
9:30.
Spoilers. Shh. We're about to drink coffee.
Yes, exactly. Coffee.
No, but
Lots
seriously,
of coffee, though.
welcome. This is our season 2, episode 3.
Episode 2, technically. I think the first one we
technically,
counted
yeah,
as
no, we could count it as an
it's
intro.
just like a, hey,
episode
what did we
again.
do all summer?
Yeah, because our summers
So-
were nuts. But
Yeah. Well, the way I
So-
technically numbered is we're still just counting like it was episode 22 last time.
yes,
So it's
but
season 2. Well, actually, I think it's a 21. So season 2, episode 1. So 22 is season 2, episode 2. It worked out really that way.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because our 20th was cat poo. Oh my
20th
goodness.
was cat poo. Yeah. And the other one I did not count as 21 because it was literally just us saying what we did this summer.
Yes.
So-
But if you did not check out the cat poo, that one's actually really fun.
And it was
That was
delicious.
It was like,
I can happily say that I drank cat poop.
and it was good.
And it was good.
And we ate Twinkie Wiener sandwiches, and those were
Those were good too.
somewhat good.
I
was-
probably would not eat those again for funsies.
It was
I might for
Yeah.
fun, but I wouldn't say let's have some, I'm hungry for lunch. What are we eating?
Twinkie Wiener sandwich.
Twinkie Wiener sandwiches. No.
But yeah, we have a good time. We're glad that you're
Mhm.
here with us, whether
Yep.
you're on Spotify or YouTube. Whether you're watching or listening, thanks.
Yes,
We know
thank you very much.
we're having a blast doing this, and it's fun just
Having a
drinking
good time.
coffee, talking.
Yes.
So-
Now it gives us excuse to be together again, even so far apart.
Friends are friends forever.
There you go, Michael W.
Smith. So, how was your week, Mr. Scott?
My week was actually really, really good. The week itself was kind of bland. Not bad. Just, routine.
Mhm.
Things are happening. Monday and Tuesday, the kids have dance. And Wednesday and Thursday, we kind of just get through to the weekend. But this week, Friday, there was no school. There was like a county-wide teachers conference something day, whatever.
Okay.
So we got together with the kid's cousin and my sister-in-law. Kids' cousins, plural. There's a couple of them. And my sister-in-law. And we went to the North Carolina Zoo, which is like 2 hours
Ooh.
from us.
That's always fun.
It was a great time. We had 8 children. Because my sister-in-law's best friend has triplets, and my sister-in-law has twins and then a younger one. So the twins are the same age as Emily,
Okay.
and their younger one's the same age as Olivia.
Oh,
So
that's
they're
fun.
all the right age, and then the
Yep.
triplets are all the same age as the twins and Emily. So there were
Oh my goodness.
6 8-year-olds and 2 6-year-olds, and it was just me and my sister-in-law.
Chaos.
It was way better than it could have gone, by the way.
That's good.
We got there like 9 a.m. and it closes at 5, and we stayed there all day. We walked the whole zoo. It was crazy, and there were a couple of meltdowns, and there were a lot of fun. The kids loved the animals, and they ate, and they got their stuffed animals at the end, and they had a good time.
That's
Oh,
good.
we fed the giraffes. Have you been to the new zoo in?
No, but we
It's
went
like right
in-
outside Green Bay. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Definitely go and check it out. It's good. You can feed giraffes there too. It costs $1, and they give you like 5 or 6 pieces of lettuce, and you just feed the giraffe.
Uh-huh.
Here in North Carolina, it was $5 per kid to feed them 5 pieces of lettuce.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an expensive trip to feed
Yeah.
lettuce.
Sneak some in your pocket.
Yeah, but they loved it. We got some good pictures of them feeding giraffes, and they're really cool animals. I'd have to say that
They are.
they're my favorite in the zoo.
They are
So-
very cool.
Friday was the zoo. Saturday mornings we have hockey. Olivia's practice is at 6:45 a.m. It's 30 minutes away. Mind you, Friday we spent 6 hours walking around the zoo, and then 2 hours I got to drive home, and then of course you got to
Yep.
do bedtime. Saturday morning rolls around, and at like 8 a.m, Emily walks into my bedroom and goes, "Hey, did we have hockey this morning?"
Oh.
And I was like, "No." So did you ever like know you have to do something in the morning, so you wake up like a million times before your alarm goes off?
Yep.
Yeah, and then And then you usually wake up to your alarm, right? And you're
Yep.
like, all right, now I slept awful, but at least I'm awake. I slept awful, and then I fell asleep again and woke up at like 2 hours past my alarm. So
Oops.
we missed hockey Saturday morning, but we did not miss hockey Sunday, which is today. The kids had their games, and they had a blast. They love hockey. They're doing a good job with that. And
That's
it's just
good.
a crazy day because they both have games in different rinks. Luckily, today it was an hour apart from the end of one game to the beginning of another game.
Okay, so you have a
Last
little bit
week-
of time.
Last week, I had to have my sister-in-law help and bring Olivia to a different rink. So this week it worked out great. And then we had a nice Sunday family dinner afterwards. My brother-in-law smoked up some ribs. They were good.
Ooh,
Uh-huh. So what about
sounds
you?
like fun.
That was my week condensed
Been-
into like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, what kind of coffee do you got? We forgot to do
yeah.
that.
Let's start drinking coffee because now I need to drink. It's just a plain old vanilla latte, iced latte.
I got the I made that same marshmallow time and then I put a little bit of s'mores in it. So it's a little sweet, but it's also a latte.
Nice, a nice
I
s'more.
stole Laney's
That's
cup. Sorry.
s'more. Oh, you stole
That's
Lainey's
s'more. But it's delicious and cold and refreshing. So I drank that 2 liter of the tea last week.
Oh no! And you
I made
more,
another
didn't
one.
you?
Yes, it's so good.
Did the second one come out better or the same?
This is about the same. And I used Starry instead of Sprite, and it was still just as good. So, but yeah, my coffee's delicious. It's very
Good coffee.
fiery. So my week was crazy. It's been crazy, and it's going to be crazy for probably the next 2 weeks. Just finishing up the youth room and getting ready for some big events coming up, which is always fun. And yesterday we went to Lainey was at a pastor's wives conference. Basically, it was like a 1-day thing. But her
cool.
and Julie went up a day early and stayed in the hotel with Julie's sister and just hung out and had fun. And so Rylan and I and my in-laws went to the zoo, or not the zoo, to the
I was
pumpkin
like, wow,
patch.
no way.
Yeah, to the pumpkin patch. It's just outside of New London, kind of in between New London and Hortonville.
Okay, what's the name of it? Do you remember?
Cuffs, I think. I think
Hmm.
it's Cuffs. But anyways, it's super cool.
Okay.
Rylan had a blast. He got to beat on some pots and pans they had hanging on a fence and
Sweet.
climb up this old harvester, and they had like the door open so you could sit in there, and then they had a slide going down
that's
the
always
side of
fun.
it. And Rylan hates the slide for some reason. I don't know why. He doesn't like slides anymore. I don't know.
Just he's done with slides.
he-
It's not like a
I guess so. Yeah.
too old for him.
Um,
He's a mature man.
Too old. Yeah. He's,
Yeah, they're a kitty. They're a kitty thing.
Yep. But then we got to go on this hay ride that takes you out to the pumpkin patch, and you get to pick pumpkins rather than
Nice.
just like buying them. And
Yep.
for $12, one person gets to get 1 big pumpkin, 2 small pumpkins, 2 of the I'm blanking on the name now. It's a
Gourds?
super weird gourds. Yes, 2 gourds, and then 2 of the multicolored. I think they call it Indian corn.
Okay.
So we got to pick
That's
all that for
is a
one person.
load.
It's a lot. And then Rylan gets all of that, but I didn't have to pay for him. So we came home with these 2 giant pumpkins that are probably like 30 pounds a piece. They are huge.
Are you guys
And
gonna
we
carve?
got a bunch of Elaine and I haven't decided. I don't know if she wants to use them for decorations
Okay.
or to carve them, but we're definitely gonna cut the insides out. And
Mhm.
I'm super excited because I love roasting pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin
They're
seeds are good
so
when you
good,
roast
and
them. Yeah.
Such an easy, like somewhat healthy snack. I mean, it depends on how much salt you
How
put
much salt
on.
you throw on there? Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it might be fun to try to use the grill and smoke some and see if I'm
Ooh.
sure there's some recipe that you
You
can
can
do
definitely
and
do
make it
that.
a little
Throw in some-
barbecue-y. Yeah. So yeah, that was our week.
Nice.
It's been busy.
Yeah.
But good and fun.
Mhm.
So just gearing up, getting the youth room almost ready. I didn't forget to take a picture. I'm just waiting to take one more picture tomorrow probably, and then I'm going to put up more lights and then get the chairs in there, and then I'll take another picture, and then I'll try to post that this Thursday. Because by then I should have the bulk of the room done, and then I can show like a somewhat before. Lainey actually took a video of me tearing down the drop ceiling. So maybe
nice.
I'll post that. It's pretty funny.
Like tearing down or just pulling it down?
Tearing down, like yeah.
Oh, like there's.
I said, all right, honey, this whole thing's about to fall like back up.
Did you hang on like a monkey?
No, that would have been. It probably would have caused damage. I wanted to, and I know some of the students wanted to because they yeah. I thought about it. I was like, this could be super fun. Just jump up.
It would be.
And pull down.
That would have been fun.
Probably would have hurt too. So
yeah, maybe.
But, oh well.
All right, so this week our topic is going to be. I know
we're
going to get to
jokes?
a joke. We're going to do a joke. I'm going to explain the topic before a joke.
I want to.
There's a little context for my joke here. Our topic is going to be getting old, and I know I'm getting there a little faster than Andrew here, but it's both affecting us. So and you know how it really affects us in our lives as fathers, and even in work. I know for Andrew, for work and me, I guess being a dad. So, with that said, getting older, I'm going to tell my joke real quick. I have it written down so I don't mess it up. Here we go. An older woman went to the doctor's in a panic, and she goes, "Doctor, I have this really concerning hole in between my breasts." And the doctor replies, "Ma'am, it's just your belly button." So, pardon my my little crude home humor here. It's funny. Dads are silly. Did I say older woman? I don't know if I emphasized that.
I think you did.
It was an older woman, right?
Older.
What about you?
All right,
what do you got for a joke here this week?
So, knock knock.
Who's there?
Cash.
Cashew.
No thanks. I'll have peanuts.
That's funny. That's funny. I
Or
do
this one,
enjoy a cashew.
Cashews are good. Cashews are good.
Do you
This
have another one?
would
Is
be,
this a twofer?
yeah, it's another knock knock.
okay.
Rylan loves would love this one. So knock knock.
Who's there?
Owl.
Owl who?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. That's a good one. That's good.
Yeah, Rylan loves owls.
Owls are great.
He loves seeing the picture of the owl. I have a game camera set up to watch deer, and there's this he has this there's an owl on there, and he always wants to see the deer, and then he has to see the owl, and yeah.
So is it a real owl, or is it like to scare away the?
Yeah, no, it's a real owl, and it flies off, and you can see it, and yeah.
Very cool.
It's cute. Yeah. So.
All right.
So getting old.
Getting old.
I
can kick it off since I am actually the old. Who started last week? Does it matter? I'm old. You're not old
think
yet.
I started last week.
Okay, here we go. It's perfect. This was actually my idea for this topic this week because this morning I woke up and I noticed that I had a bigger beard, a little bit fuller this morning, and there were gray hairs like everywhere. I was like, no. It was surprising, and I know that I have gray hair. Like you can see it in my head over here. I'm looking at the camera over here, but you can see it. I've got gray hair. I'm not upset about it, but it is a fact that I am getting older. I like the distinguished gray hair look. I enjoy it, but it just kind of like hit me this morning when I wasn't expecting it to. I was like, oh, that's right. That is correct. I am getting older. So along with the gray hairs, you know, I wake up in the morning and I feel stiff, and it's not the bed. The bed's great. And it happened. It's funny because it happened like exactly the year I turned 30. I woke up on my birthday, and I was like, I feel it in my bones. There's a fire.
My bones, it's a fire.
Oh, that's fun. So like I just get creaky and all these things, and it does affect me being a dad because I love to get like down on the ground and play with my kids when they're doing toys and stuff, and getting up is a lot harder nowadays. Getting down is still pretty easy. It's relatively easy. It's just the getting up that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that I'm reading off a list of things that I wrote down that hitting quick points before I like dive into anything. Let's see. Had the creaky joints, had the gray hair. Oh, and my memory's going. Like I'll try to
That's why
think
you
of
write
something.
things down.
It's why I write things down. It's right. My memory is actually, it's not really bad, but don't expect me to remember something you say unless I write it down, or it doesn't matter how important it is. I always feel bad. My wife will tell me something and she'll say, don't forget this. And I'm like, of course I'm going to forget it, but I'll listen anyway. I'm not listening to you. So it's funny. And then let's see, I have creaky joints. I think I said that one already. That was a funny joke that I wrote into my points, by the way, if you guys aren't laughing yet. There's another issue. Like, honestly, as I get older, I feel like I'm so much more tired than I usually am, but I can't sleep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's just a sleep problem. I do have sleep apnea. I'm treated for that. I have a CPAP. I sleep fine when I have my CPAP. But, so, like, I sleep fine relatively, but it's still like I can't sleep when I'm so tired. And when I'm awake, I'm not sleeping. It's just weird. I don't get it. It's like my body's like, you don't need to sleep, but you need to sleep. But you don't need to sleep. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, pick one of the two. Do I need to sleep or what? So, sleeping is important when you have children, because they will wake up at the... That's my dog. She's laying on the couch. They will wake up at the weirdest times, and they will need you to be fully awake doing something. And it's like, wow, all right, hold on, let me wake up. And that part is getting much harder as I get older. And it's wild.
I love I was just gonna say, I love the.
No, go
have you seen those? The meme or the picture of the dad that is trying to get up and like ready because the baby's awake, and the wife came over and took a picture of him or took a video of him as he's scooping formula into the coffee pot.
Into the coffee pot, yeah.
Like instead of coffee.
I remember when we had Eliza as our third, we were completely exhausted. And it was just like having a newborn baby plus 2 other kids that you still had to do and a dog. And it's like your life isn't stopping. We made this metaphor. Actually, me and Nina were talking about it. How ridiculous it is when you have your first, your life stops, comes to a halt. You get to do everything you need to with the first kid until you get back in track and work starts coming back and back. But then you have that second kid and the first kid is still there. You have to take care of the first kid. You don't get so much time off work. You still have life to do, and you can't really stop when the second kid comes out. And the third kid's that much worse because then you have 2 kids. And for us, we had a dog, 2 kids, a dog, work. And it was like nothing slowing down. You just got to pick up the pace and go with it. So we were exhausted from doing that. And I was making coffee in the morning, and I forgot we had a Keurig machine. And I forgot to put the coffee mug under the Keurig machine when I hit start. It just made like the biggest mess on my counter. Hot coffee everywhere. It was like,
I remember that.
Now I have to clean this because I'm exhausted. And now I won't have coffee.
Because I was so proud of myself because I found a random picture of a Keurig and then I painted in like the coffee spilling everywhere.
So yeah. One more perk of being old is always keep hard candy on tap here. Got some in my pocket if you want some. Nice sucker. Right here on my desk. You're laughing. You're gonna get old too.
Those caramel things. What are they? Something delights. Oh,
no. I think. What is it?
They had butterscotch ones, and they had caramel.
It's like the classic old person thing they keep in their pockets. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This hard candy actually came from Sweetwater. I don't keep hard candy.
You don't keep it in your pocket.
I do.
At all times.
Apparently I do. But yeah, Sweetwater.
Good old Sweetwater.
Good old Sweetwater. Do you got any
fun? I
getting
echo
older?
I echo a lot of what you said. I've really noticed like the getting down on the ground, and part of that I think is the like the stress of playing sports my whole life and then just stopping, and then now picking it up a little bit again with like men's softball and stuff. Like my
Sure.
leg, I can't. You know how I know I used to be able to do this a lot, but then now I get stuck and I have to like roll onto my side. Like if I'm, you know how you can like go on your knees and sit on your feet. I can't
Yeah.
do that anymore. Like my legs literally cramp, like my ankles cramp, and I'm like,
Ouch.
ow, ow,
Yeah.
ow. But yeah, the creaking and cracking is, I don't crack. I mostly crack because of injuries and
Yeah, well, that's true.
that were prolonged, and like my thumb, like it'll always crack because it's
Oh,
broke
yuck.
forever and ever. And
Yep.
Yeah. But
Broke
or
forever.
my chest will pop because like one of my ribs pops out of place occasionally. It's
Ow. I had
Super
ribs
fun.
for dinner.
yeah.
My
You're
niece-
not having mine.
My niece warned me and said, "Watch out! This is going to be your ribs next time." I was like, "Oh, okay." She was in a really silly mood.
I can tell.
It was fun.
Straight for the throat.
For the ribs.
For the ribs. But I think one other thing that is like how different I see things, like how
So when I was getting older, I'm just physically older, but you're maturing and you're getting wiser. I get it. Keep going.
Well, I wrote this down. Like, I feel like there's a balance between like, you know, getting more wisdom, but then also being less dumb, but
Yeah.
also dumb at the same time. Not that there's a bad difference between the two, but like I've definitely noticed like there's certain things like, why did I do this? Like what? Or why did I do that? Or like I need to do it this way. And just different ways that, you know, through experiences, like it's
You learn.
a pretty common thing that you learn different
Yep.
things and you learn how to do things differently, how to do things better. So yeah, and that definitely plays into kind of like some of the attributes and the things that I try to portray to Rylan.
And
like,
pulling it back
I've
to being a
tried to
dad.
be-
Yep.
Try to be really intentional with like especially because of how now I can see things differently and see, not to bleed into another topic that we're kind of wanting to talk about, but just like
Mhm.
why my dad reacted in ways that he did, or how he shared things with us.
Sure.
And how he, like, one of the biggest things that I've had to catch myself doing, like when Rylan is, and we've talked about this before, but like when I've really been intentional, like in this whole like wisdom and like
Yeah.
as I'm getting older, like thinking things through before I really act, and like especially when it comes to when Rylan does something where I'm like, dude, why? Like, you're making me mad. Like, stop. And you just want to like grab him, and like, stop, but you can't.
Yeah.
Like, or I guess you could, but it. What is that?
You should not do
reinforcing?
that. It's not good.
Right. And there are times where like if he's gonna hurt himself, yes.
Right.
But if it's like he's smashing a toy on a table or breaking something, like, is it?
Yeah. Or if he's
Is it
being
the
loud
end of the
during
world?
something that you're supposed to be doing. And,
Yeah.
Right,
Is it
exactly.
the end of the world? No. Is there time to correct? Yes. But really just trying to like think through that, and really try to be careful, because I don't want Rylan to see me as like the mean old dad. And I know like there will be a time where like he'll have to understand that like I'm not his friend, I'm his dad. Like that's a
Yep.
normal process. But yeah, really just trying to think through that aspect of when it comes to the like how much they we've talked about this too, like the idea that more is caught than taught, just how much that plays into it. And yeah, so that's really all that I had. Those are really big ones, like,
Yeah.
and I echo the tired thing. Like, I don't know what it
yeah.
is.
My
Maybe
brain-
it's the stress of just life and doesn't stop moving, head doesn't stop spinning, whatever. But
Mhm.
but no, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I've thought about like what you had said you and Nina talked about, like the because Lainey and I we're not like talking about, we want to try to figure out some more health stuff for her before we really start talking about, okay, kid number 2.
Sure.
But I can see that being such a reality of like, because your life does really like stop for the first. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
after that, it's like, okay, you just got to keep rolling and figure out not that like that doesn't scare me or like it creates chaos sometimes, but
It does.
but that's being a family. Like I think about like my parents and how like raising 5 of us who were like at one time we could have all needed to be in all or at least 4 out of the 5 could have needed to be in like 4 different cities for sports or for school or
Ooh,
for something
yeah.
at one time. Like it's I'm like, whew, okay. You just have
I
to get
know.
creative, and that's the
Sure.
biggest thing that like especially as I'm getting older is trying to think creatively on how to when those times come and not getting stressed, but also making sure that, like you said, I remember like, oh, I have to make sure that I get this kid from here or whatever. And
Right, exactly. You gotta be sharp.
yeah,
So
yeah. But then even in the moments where like I forget things or mess up and
yeah.
remembering like, okay, this is a teachable moment. And that's something that I've really been trying to start now, is thinking through, okay, how do I respond to Rylan? How do I show him in every moment that it's a teachable moment? Because then by the time next year when he's why?
That's fun.
Because right now it started as yes, because he loved the word yes. Now he loves
good
no,
word.
and then it's going to
That's not a
transition
good
into
word.
why. Yeah. Well, right now he thinks it's funny when he yells at me and says, "Daddy, top," and then like if he doesn't want me to go do something, and
Sure.
but yeah, just trying to process through the using that wisdom, or being less dumb, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And applying that to how I do things as a dad as I get older. More wise. Whatever.
I don't know why, but what you just said about Rylan saying "Daddy, stop" reminded me of when Olivia was younger. If she wanted to do something that she knew I would tell her not to do, she would say, "Dad, can you go into the other room for a minute?" It's like, why do you want me to go into the other room? It's like, no reason. And she was like so sweet and innocent about it. And I was just like, no.
No.
So it's funny. She does that nowadays. That would be frustrating. And a teachable moment, I guess, would be one way to put it. So, yeah. Growing old.
We all do it.
Some of us faster and more elegantly. Like, honestly, this patch of gray hair over here, I don't know how well you guys can see it. I feel like I'm going Reed Richards style, the Mr. Fantastic. Fantastic Four, who is like just gray on the sides. So,
yeah, I have one that comes in occasionally when my hair gets long.
do you
on
try
the
to pull it out?
side, it's like right. Yep. And then
Is it right
still
here?
comes
Like,
back.
I can see it so clear in my camera up there.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. My cousin was, he was gray by the time he was 26.
Wow.
I think.
Do you have
yeah.
family baldness in your family?
Yes, some, but he had like a full head of hair.
I
It
was making a
just
joke.
started to
Listen,
gray.
somebody in your immediate family have
Oh.
a lot less hair than other people in your
Yes.
family. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah.
The story is my grandmother went full gray before she was 32, so I don't know if that's true. It might be. It might not be. Who knows?
It's crazy how that works.
Really is. Really
They say
is.
it's stress related, and I feel like part of it could
It
be.
makes sense.
but
I
it
had
also
a
just-
very stressful life. So
But also genetics play a big part. So
yeah, genetically speaking, isn't
Yeah,
it like your
Mr.
mother's?
Mr. Italian.
Like, you know, I've had very thick hair. I'm not worried about losing my hair. It just will all be gray.
Right.
So, yeah. Any last words here before we call it a night or day or morning, whatever you're listening?
I don't think so. I
All right.
think I got it. Said everything I wanted to say about getting older.
Awesome. Thank you guys so
It's-
much for listening. We appreciate you always. Listen on Spotify. Watch on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you next time, Thursday mornings at 5 a.m. Thank you so
5
much.
a.m.